Hello there, everybody, and welcome to the Transatlantic Splatoon League's North American Division. We're finally about ready to get started with this thing. It was something like 6 days late. I made the meme on Twitter, 6 days late. It was supposed to be 6 hours late. It said it was just 6 days. So I don't know what you all expected, but that's North America for you. Of course, my name is Kbot, and I am joined for all three matches tonight by the one and only Splatoon Lily. How are you doing this evening, my friend?
I mean, I'm doing much better now that we're live. I've been sitting here for the past 2 minutes, you type away, and I'm like, this is really good ASMR. I think I might fall asleep at my desk. So now that we're live, I'm a little bit more awake and a little bit more ready to go.
That is...
Also, did you say it took 6 days for NA to get in this lobby?
Yeah. Well, so the meme was like 6 hours behind for time zones.
Yeah, and now we're 6 days late getting in the lobby. I'm like, NA, I know we have NA lobbies, but like, yikes. Yikes, NA.
Yikes. Apologies, folks. I went live, and then I realized that I had the map slightly wrong. So I'm going to fix those. This is... And you're just going to have to deal with this. We are using the technology of Google Sheets tonight to bring you the map list screen. So,
I'm very proud. You want us to organized, I guess, right? So at least we're not in MS Paint. I'll take whatever
I mean, this is true.
Any upgrade over that.
This is very true. Okay, I want to say that this is now correct, and I'm going to make sure that this is good by our teams. Of course, starting off the night, we have Starburst versus Supernova. You guys can read it on your screen at this point. So it should be really exciting to hop on into this. I can't wait to actually get into the match and start watching Splatoon as I continue trying to set this stuff up. But yeah, what do you think about these teams?
A TO just suggested that people read something.
Oh yeah, you know, that's how it is sometimes, I guess. Can't believe it, honestly. But obviously these two teams very strong in their own right. Starburst is a team that has often contended with FT Win for being the best North American team. They are very constantly and ever increasingly so the best rivals when it comes to trying to take games off of FT Win. So I'm excited to see how exactly they start to shape up in preparation for that match. I believe that match will take place towards the end of the league's season. So that'll definitely be fun to watch out for here. And then of course Supernova is one of those teams that has always been around and has always been towards the top of things. So yeah, how do you think these two are going to fare here?
I mean, I guess I'm more excited to see how their map picks play out than anything between the teams. I mean, tonight we're seeing a lot of teams that have played each other more than probably any other teams in the rest of Splatoon. Just the nature of all of our tournaments, right? So I'm less interested in seeing how the teams perform against each other and more interested in seeing how the teams perform on their specific map picks. Being able to come into an event like this having already chosen the maps you want to play is a level of confidence I aspire to, and
that's definitely true, and something that's very unique about this event. And so on the topic of map picks, for those of you that might be a little bit unfamiliar, of course this is our first primary NA match, so a lot of the North American fans might be joining us. The way map picking works this time around, you can kind of see it color coded there on that screen, but games 1, 4, 7 are all neutral picks. Games 2, 5, 8 are all the higher seed picks, and games 3, 6, and 9 are all lower seed picks. So basically you're able to pick any map within your own predefined map pool that you put together towards the beginning of the league, and you're able to change once a week. So you have 6 maps that you're able to choose from to take care of business there. I don't know what's going on in this lobby. We're playing a little bit of musical chairs here or something before we hop into things. The reason why I mentioned that is because you all can hear the in-game music on screen. But So yeah, as you mentioned, Lily, a lot of these teams are going to be able to go to their own counter picks, which could be interesting to see exactly how this progresses. We'll be able to keep track of thanks to some handy dandy Google Sheets conditional formatting that you all get to watch and hope works alongside me. So it should be fun.
I mean, it's always exciting to see conditional formatting on Google Sheets. I don't know what everyone else is excited for,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
that's what I'm here for.
Are you here for the actual matches? No. Why are you here for the actual matches? You should be
Why
here
would
for,
you come on Splatoon?
You should be here for the Google Sheets innovative broadcasts. All right, folks. That's really what we've come to know from this league, of course. I guess it is worth noting, while we have a moment, actually, I didn't make commands for this, which means that I am very bad. Looks like Zero's fixing a tag. Oh my gosh, Zero. All right. Whatever, man. While we have a little bit of time, of course, if you want to stay up to date on the Transatlantic Splatoon League, you can follow at TASL_SPL. That's TASL_SPL on Twitter for all of the league's matches, all of the updates that go along with that. You'll also be able to find there isn't an actual Discord server league. That's just my own personal server, I guess. If you want to really join it, you can. But there's also a YouTube channel, though, for TASL that is you can find that link at tinyurl.com/TASLYT with a hyphen in the middle. We'll be uploading tournament VODs there about 24 hours after the fact that these matches have actually happened, and we will also be uploading overhead cameras so that you'll be able to watch with a little bit more of that top-down analytical perspective. And so we've already seen, like I know Sendo did a VOD review of his own match a couple of days ago on his own YouTube channel, and there's going to be plenty more to kind of come out of that as well. So looking forward to see what other kinds of content that these players all produce. And you can also follow a lot of these players on around. There's a Twitter list on the TASL account that has all of their players' accounts, so you can stay up to date on literally every single player in the league. Plenty of places to find out more information about the league if you're interested here.
I mean, I think the best first and foremost place is also Kbot's own Twitter account.
And
then also the TASL account. Some really good memes coming out between Ninja and Kbot themselves. There's a lot of good content happening on Twitter lately.
Okay. So, the content's good, by the way, and please go like and retweet Ninja's latest video to continue spreading the word about this league that's happening right now, because we've got 3 matches for you tonight. By the way, Zero is currently in the lobby with the tag not Zero. That is a callback to earlier today. I got a random DM from Chara that asks, hey, can we have 2 people with a very similar name? And I'm like, what are you guys planning on? Anyway, maybe I won't spoil it yet, but we'll see if they actually pull it out. If they don't pull it out tonight, I'll actually say it at the end of the match. But we are going to be hopping into Tower Control Manta Maria for our first game, and we are in the lobby countdown. Lily, what's going to transpire here?
I mean, honestly, knowing these teams, it could be anything, especially from Supernova. I'm really excited to see how they pull this map out. Tower control on this map is notoriously incredibly contested between the 2nd and 3rd checkpoints. Anything that's going to give them an edge up through those streets is going to be exciting to see. I mean, usually that amounts to things like bubbles and booyah and sometimes rain. So knowing the people who are playing these matches and knowing that they can pull out just about anything, I'm pretty excited to see what they have to show me tonight.
There's a lot of very talented players in this lobby, of course. Way too many. Just to read off the rosters for y'all, Ice, Bran, Ant, and Jared are representing Starburst tonight, and Tetsu, Chara, Arashi, and Zero are all on the books for Supernova. Lobby timer is going to count down. It's going to expire all 90 seconds. We are going to be hopping in. It's battle time, folks. This is a Week 1 rescheduled match taking place 6 days after it was supposed to. It's the Transatlantic Splatoon League North American Division kicking off and getting ourselves underway with our first game of the night. Of course, Ice going for that remix. Not necessarily surprising here, but we see a lot of these picks from the Supernova lineup that we're used to seeing out of some of these players.
I mean, the K-Glugas in particular are something that I feel like I have seen a little bit more lately in general, but not enough at all ever in, I guess, overall. So I'm interested to see how that fares, and also, I mean, if any of them are talking on Twitter, I'd love to hear why we're picking the Klugas, but I'll take it for now, and we'll roll with it. The other team is a little bit more standard, I'd say.
Definitely a little bit more standard on the composition for Starburst, but that's one of the things that Supernova is often known for, is those innovation and those weird niche picks, right? You'll notice here, Starburst already making sure that they're shutting down any potential momentum that Supernova could, provide here, given the fact that they threw that Booyah Bomb on the tower, and they're just making sure they're locking down mid-momentum for the time being. They're looking for a couple of more picks before moving forward, with one jumping away and this Booyah Bomb coming down, we're going to see Starburst start to make their first push.
Beautiful pick there on Arashi, and already moving up into this street. We're seeing some really good forward momentum, 2 down on the side of Supernova, and Starburst already getting into position to defend this second checkpoint.
Looking like they're just going to kind of steamroll right past this, though, as you see the Booyah Bomb hovered from ice. And it's going to go down on that tower, though, which means we're not going to be able to clear the second checkpoint, as the rest of Supernova is going to come on forward. Well done by them in order to shut that push down at that second checkpoint. Oftentimes can be a little bit tricky to hold, but they did it very well there.
Not Zero came in on a really good angle there, and I think caught a couple members of Starburst off guard, and just managed to hold it until the rest of the teammates got there and managed to take that through. So we'll see how this counter push goes. Again, this is going to be a very back and forth map. It's going to be a very back and forth match in general. So whoever captures that second checkpoint and then that third is probably going to take the match.
I gotta say, this is very refreshing, because I don't remember seeing tower control Manta Maria at all last week. Of course, last week, if you didn't miss it, game ones were both 100-0 knockouts. So a little bit refreshing that we're seeing a little bit more back and forth play here in the North American division. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Why don't you tell me on Twitter later? Jared here is going to try to step on this tower to take care of business, and the Incomer is going to come out of Starburst as they continue trying to just stall this push out from Supernova. You notice they already have the 2-in situation, and so Supernova is not going to be able to continue pushing on forward, and they're not going to be able to build up that momentum that they want to here. Instead, it's going to be another opportunity for Starburst to perhaps try to break that second checkpoint.
Absolutely. Ant getting into position, already moving forward, and we see some Booyah Bombs, some bombs coming out around the map, trying to push everyone back away from that second checkpoint. They need to break this checkpoint, and they need to hold that score if they want to be able to take this match. There's no way that they're going to be able to take it without having broken that checkpoint first.
But a 3-down situation is not what you want to see if you're trying to break past that checkpoint. Well done once again for the hold coming on through for Supernova. That they gave away 1 extra point than they did last time. So take that for all it's worth. They're doing a well job here. But the question is, can they really start to build up the momentum back the other direction? They have an Ink Armor and 10 missiles, but with a 1-person down situation, you're not really going to be able to build up that momentum. You're not going to be able to turn the rest of the map in your color. And they're just going to kind of actually play very passive and get punished for it, as now the Engage is coming on through for Starburst. They're able to take one, actually trades going back and forth here. That's 2 members alive on either side of the map. I believe Char is about to go down on that right side, and indeed does. Tetsu's going to be the last one alive here, but it doesn't look like Starburst is looking to make a push anytime soon.
That was just really unfortunate. Trying to get enough people in your reticle, trying to get enough information from the map, and ended up getting pushed back into an unfortunate position. It's just not quite what you want to see from these players and from this game. The onus really is now on Supernova. They have to break that second checkpoint.
But now, where was the paint coverage there? Tetsu just tried to dives on towards that tower and then has to dive away with the rest of the pressure coming in from Starburst. It's a 3-down situation. Zero sharking here, but my friend, you're probably not going to get much work done at this point. Has 10 missiles at the ready, which is fantastic to try to get a little bit more pressure on this tower. And I actually think Starburst has done a very good job of just completely ignoring Zero over here on the side. Zero's going to try to stall for a little bit more time, but no, falls off of the map. It is not going to provide much of any support for the rest of Supernova. Ice is setting up here as well as Ant to try to continue this push on forward, but they don't have any more specials at the ready. They're looking to try to clear this checkpoint, but with that Inkjet shot that's going to shut that down once again, locked down at the second checkpoint is Starburst.
We're down to our last 30 seconds of this match, and at this point, all Starburst really needs to do is put on a little bit of pressure and not wipe. As long as they maintain those two things, they can pretty much hold this to the end of the game. They're going to have a little bit more trouble now that Supernova is pushing back into mid 3-4 players up and moving into another push. Supernova is really down to the clock now. They have to take this, and very soon they need to be on that tower.
Inkjet, Teta Missiles coming on forward, as well as the Ink Armor. Try to break past the second checkpoint. Arashi's in the air to try to put some pressure, but Starburst just collapses around the tower rather beautifully to shut that one down. And game one is going to go over to Starburst.
Well, that was, I mean, a really good game one. That's, you kind of want to see that map go back and forth. Any kind of full sweep in either direction is just a little bit disappointing and a little bit frustrating to watch. So to see some fairly low scoring matches there, well, match there, and to see such a nice back and forth throughout the whole thing was kind of nice. Keep that up.
Absolutely. I will take that match any day of the week, to be honest. Again, especially given after what I saw last week out of some of these teams, it was very one-sided in a lot of those cases. So good to see that, and looking forward to these teams keeping this up. But now we're actually going to be heading on over to the Starburst pick. They're looking to go up 2-0 early in this set, going to Splat Zones on Starfish Mainstage.
An interesting pick. I really wish I had a way to ask all of these teams why they picked the maps they did, because it might just be that they like them, it could be that they're comfort picks, it could be that they have cool strategies they want to pull out, but I wish we had that information. Can we do interviews, like player interviews after the games? I'd just like love to chat
Seeing
with
as
that.
how we have 3 matches tonight, it's probably going to be one after the next, unfortunately. Maybe we'll try to like see if we can get some other content out. But probably not tonight. Also, apologies, it looks like I am dropping a couple of frames. So if that really keeps up and starts being super negative, I will probably reset stream at a slightly lower bitrate. I tried bumping it up, and by bumping it up, I mean doubling it from last time, because last time was a little crispy, if anyone was checking the VOD. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Probably going to have to lower it a little bit. Let me know, or Ninja DM me. But Splat Zones on Starfish Mainstage, of course, is one of those maps that can also be rather snowbally, can also be a little bit more lockout focused. So we'll have to see exactly what kinds of adaptations are going to come on through here. I imagine, given that last game, probably going to be much more neutral, given the fact that that tower really didn't go much of anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, largely the issue with this map is that if you get pushed out of mid, the entire battle up into mid is uphill again, the entire way. You start, I mean, a little bit higher in your spawn, but that's fairly useless when you have to drop down in order to approach a zone at all. So bombs are usually pretty helpful here. Things like sloshers or blasters, booyah bombs come in handy. But if you get pushed out, you have an uphill battle ahead of you, and that's never an easy fight.
Never an easy fight at all, but actually the adaptation coming out a little bit on the other side of Starburst here. They have E-Leader and Foil Squeezer out, opting for the Bubbles presence, something we've seen actually rise a little bit in prevalence lately, and so I'm interested to see exactly what kinds of adaptation, because I feel like we see that more on something like Inkblot, and less on a little bit more of an open map that is Starfish Mainstage. Couple trades going back and forth here, but it looks like the first primary control is going to be held by Starburst.
An absolutely beautiful pick there from Ice, and I mean a good pick on the weapon as well. E-Leader here, just, I mean, you've got half the map covered from a relatively safe position. You love to see it. You love to see it.
Absolutely do love to see it. We'll see how much further that this lockout can really go on for here, as there's plenty of pressure being applied to this zone, but now the engage is going to come on through for Supernova. It's all their specials getting thrown at the zone almost immediately, but we're not even focusing on the zone. We're just rushing down some of the other members. Ant goes down here to 2 versus 2, but Zero gets taken down by 10 missiles back the other direction. Looks like the Cap was able to go on over to Supernova, but now it's a 2-for-2 trade. Brand trying to apply a little bit more ink onto this zone, but is now just going to opt for a little bit of a sharking situation. Knows that they are in the lead as Starburst right now, so they don't really need to apply a lot of pressure to this zone, and perhaps they're looking for that little bit of a larger penalty as well.
It could be. Unfortunately, Supernova coming in and taking that pretty handily. We have a 3-down situation on the side of Starburst, which is going to put them into a really bad position. By the time they all respawn and maybe build some specials, they're going to have maybe one more chance to get back into the zone before it's entirely over. And that's just it's gonna be quick and it's gonna be dirty.
Gonna need to do it soon, and they don't even have an armor to do it. They're really gonna play around these bubbles that come on through, as well as the 10 missiles. And I don't know why we're looking over here, AutoCam. Ant is coming in from the top lines here. There's the bubble combination, gets one, but is gonna go down to a bomb nonetheless. 10 ticks of the timer left to go here for Supernova to just hold on to the zone. They're looking to try to do that. Chara gets taken out from behind, though, from Jared. It doesn't matter. It's a 3-down situation. Jared's the last one alive. Is gonna have to try to pull some kind of a hero play, but goes down nonetheless. And Supernova is gonna even the score.
That hurt my little my soul a little bit. We just didn't have enough zoners.
We just didn't. We just didn't. I don't know. I don't know what the zoning. Yeah, I don't know.
It got close there a few times. It was almost capped. I think a little bit more paint on that zone probably would have taken it. It felt like a lot of the recap was based a little bit more on trying to force the players of Supernova off zone instead of trying to paint the zone first. So maybe just a little bit of a refocus there. But I mean, the Starburst pick does go to Supernova, and the Supernova pick, let's see if it goes to Starburst, I guess. That would just
what to see.
Dramatic
Splat
irony
zones,
there, I guess.
I mean, yeah, very true. Splat zones on Piranha Pit is going to be the play that comes on through here for Supernova. I mean, is there any more analysis we can do on that last game to try to, like, sway things other than, guys, we should maybe focus a little bit more on the objective? Because that timer ticks down a lot faster than you think it does.
I mean, the other big note I had, I guess, from last match was it shows a little bit of a downside of playing a Glooga there, is just Glooga's armor building capabilities are incredibly limited, so when it came time for the pushback in, they didn't have the armor as well as all of the other specials. Like, they had every other special built except armor, right? So yeah. It shows a little bit of a weakness on that front, but on the other hand, we saw some really good play from Tetsu on the Gloogas, so was that a factor? Probably not, but it certainly didn't help.
To be fair, I think on the note of the Gloogas, in my opinion, I mean, I don't know. This is just me kind of spewing right now, but it seems like, I mean, obviously dualies are probably going to be more beneficial on these more open maps. Starfish Mainstage feels a little more open than Manta Maria, right? In a lot of cases, especially around the objectives. So maybe on a map like Piranha Pit as well, Tetsu can kind of dive on around a little bit more to try to get some more work done. And again, another adaptation coming on forward for Starburst, where Ice is going to switch on over to the Jet Squelcher, aka Stingray main weapon, and we've got double L3 on the other side for Supernova.
I was gonna say, I can't believe you're over here talking about the Jet Sculpture. We could be talking about the double nozzle. That was a fast ray. I don't think I've seen a ray build faster than that ever in my life.
It's the Stingray main weapon. I'm telling you.
Jeez. But moving straight into the nozzle noses, taking over that zone with some, handy paint, and Zero pulling out a beautiful inkjet to press a little bit more pressure on the members of Starburst.
A little bit more pressure. Zero's just kind of taken over the entire area right now and is now going to just be right in the face of Gran, able to find that burst bomb splats on one of his former teammates there as well. But now, again, if we're painting our zone a little bit more, Supernova, we could be even potentially further down. Zero's going to get caught out by bubbles that are coming on through from Ant, who's just kind of being a little bit more of a nuisance, able to get a second one onto Chara, and this flanking bubble play is something that I haven't seen before, and I really like it.
I mean, it managed to cap the zone and put enough pressure onto the members of Supernova to back them up until a little bit more help arrived. But it looks like Ant is maybe going to need to back up a little bit here. That zone is switching pretty fast, and the members are pushing up pretty quickly.
Speaking of pushing up pretty quickly, there's the Inkjet coming on through for these members of Supernova, and Chara is going to be credited with that kill as well, trying to put a little bit more pressure here, even forwards. You'll notice how much attention Supernova is trying to force into zoning their opponents away. Again, they're less focused on the zone right now, which, say what you will about that, and I probably will later, depending on which way this game goes, but now this bomb launcher is going to come on forward for Supernova and try to get a little bit more paint on this zone, but it's going to be met with a couple specials back the other direction for Starburst, and this is so back and forth here. Seems like no one really wants to go down. Looks like perhaps a slight overextension there from Brand. Didn't have the support of the rest of the team. The firefight now right between these two conveyor belts is going to go to the favor of Supernova, at least temporarily. We're still not painting the zone, guys. There could be so many more points off this board.
I mean, they're doing what they can, I guess. We're we're doing fine. We're doing fine. And the members of Starburst trying to come back in and encountering a lot of resistance, trying to make this push back and double on the bubbles. Wow. All right, man. All right. You want to chill for like 2 seconds, please? Get some zoners in here to paint this zone now that we have a full wipe on the side of Supernova, and Starburst getting into position to receive the counter push.
That was very nasty coming in from Ant. I feel like we're just going to see a bunch more of those for the entire rest of the set. It's just Ant coming in with the bubbles, coming in with the bomb, and just putting in some work on the opposing side. And especially if it's something that, it's something that Supernova is really going to have to keep track of. And speaking of things to keep track of, how about these ink jets just flying all around all over the place? That's one with the ink armor as well. Jared's just forced to try to play chicken dance with some of these bomb pressure that's coming on forward as well. He is finally going to get taken down, and now a 2-down situation. But again, Supernova is focused towards the zone. They're able to cap this zone, and again, they don't have that much further to go ahead and take the lead. And at this point, we're starting to talk about, a meaningful lead getting down to the single-digit mark.
Absolutely. I mean, the Stingray coming out is not gonna help the situation too much, but it might stall it just long enough for absolutely the lead to be taken. So we have 1 minute and 40 left in this match, and honestly, it's such a small lead. We're just going to call that a technical for now, and we're going to see if it can swing back the other way before the end.
Trade on the other side. There's Ant with the bubbles as well to try to apply a little bit more pressure on Supernova, but it's a only 2-up situation. Make it 1-up situation for Starburst, which just likely means the cap's going to come on through the other direction, but actually it will stall this out for a little bit more time as Starburst. Now Ice is being very cautious with his Jet Squelcher. Definitely does not want to go down. It's rather close to the Ray and is going to have to wait for this re-engage coming on through for Starburst, but it seems like they're just getting outslayed. They're getting out paint controlled, and now they're going to have to make a move with just a couple of ticks of the Splat Zone's timer left to go. Lily, I'd love to hear your thoughts, but an engage is going to happen soon, and I'm just going to keep barreling through. Here it is, Stingray, Bubble Blower coming on through to try to get a little bit more of a stalling push as we move forward, but there's really no hard engage coming on for Starburst right now, and they're not able to push past some of the other team. They're going to have their ink jets at the ready here shortly as well, popping back the other direction, but a splash down the other zone means the cap is finally going to go in favor of Starburst with 34 seconds left to go, but Supernova are still relentless. It's a 3-down situation, and this game is very likely in favor of Supernova.
Yeah, I don't want to call it because this game can go either way. There's still enough time here, 20 seconds left on the clock, but it's not going to be easy. Ant and the other members of Starburst really need to get moving forward here. They really need to cap that other zone and hold it just for a few seconds. Beautiful cap here in the end, just going into overtime. We have 50 points now to tick through before we can call this anyway, and it's going to be a rough one.
Here we go, folks. It is time for overtime. Bran is trying to get a little bit more work done, but a nice direct is going to go right onto Zero, taking out one of those ink jets. 3 specials online for Supernova. They're going to be a little more patient because they know they have the time. They're going to wait on Zero to go for the re-engage as well. They're just kind of chucking some bombs and waiting for the right time to strike, and it looks like it's going to be now. Bran popping this match on, trying to provide a little bit more room, but I want to see what's going on zone right now. Bran's going to get taken down unless it's a 2-down situation for Starburst, and we just need to start moving forward for Supernova. 3 down for Starburst, but a 2 down back the other direction. Ice is the last one alive, and it's going to be stalled out for long enough, and that game is going to go on over to Supernova.
Dang.
Dang,
Kbot. That was a good game, though.
It was good. It felt very long, is what it felt.
Yes. Well, very back and forth, very middle of the road for a lot of the game, and then we just kind of collapsed. So, I mean, nice to see Supernova taking their own map pick. I don't know what more I can say about that game that we didn't say during the game. It was incredibly well played. We saw some amazing play out of Supernova, especially surrounding distraction tactics, following the Brella and following the Inkjet. Some beautiful play between those two weapons to put on the pressure where needed and just completely lock out members of Starburst. So
the very interesting thing for me is how defensive these games are playing out. Normally, when you think of the highest level, you think of a lot of these teams being super aggressive, and right now, both these teams are playing very passive, which honestly, I think does benefit Supernova, given the weapons they like to play. They like to play very stally, and then they like to attack you when they know you're down. And that's what they're doing a very beautiful job of right now. If I was Starburst, I want to see the aggression come on through. I want to see a little bit more trying to get in Supernova's face when they least expect it. Because right now, I mean, again, playing this stally style where we're only looking for or waiting for like specific clutch moments of the game, seems like it could get very out of hand very quickly for Starburst.
It could be just that I guess clash of game theories coming in through here, because Starburst typically is a team that plays a little bit more fast, a little bit more aggressive. Maybe just running into a comp that's really high level, but also plays a little bit more patient is messing them up a little bit.
Perhaps so. Clamblitz on Inkblot Art Academy is going to be the map here. And again, with a very stally style, this is something that we saw a little bit early in one of the earlier TASL matches. Is on this map in particular, definitely going to be something where we'll have to see exactly what kinds of engages are going to come on through. But Arashi on that classic L3D with that hammer. It's hammer time, everybody.
I'm excited. It's been a hot minute since I've seen Arashi Hammer, so this is gonna be good. And already 3 down. Did we just blink and they go 3 down? What the heck is happening? All right,
I definitely blinked.
Ant's already getting back up here into position, and I don't know if they're gonna get it open here. There's enough bombs coming out, enough people respawning that it's gonna be hard to get up those steps. But at the very least, they're in a really good position. They have advantage here in mid, and I see no reason they can't move forward.
If they do that again, they have the specials coming on through. That's a Booyah Bomb at the basket as well. 2-down situation right now. Now's your time to strike. Ice is trying to get in and is going to barely be at the max range of that football to get that in. But that said, Brand's only going to find a couple of extra claims in the basket, and so perhaps not as successful as Starburst would have liked here. We'll have to see if they can go for something very similar. But like I said, being aggressive super early on was fantastic to see from Starburst. And again, what I wanted to see come out from that.
Oh yeah, I always want to see Starburst, and Splatoon in general, I love to see it leaning aggressive. I mean, not W key, but we want to see it lean aggressive.
Yeah, definitely want to see that aggressive as well here. The bomb launcher could come on through for Chara as well to try to provide a little bit more map control of mid. Chara actually just going to be able to snake on forward with this umbrella. Look at how elusive is being right now. It's going to get taken down as gets surrounded by some of the other members, but there's no one else around for Supernova. Finally, Arashi comes in with a hammer, but is going to turn his back and get immediately taken down, and one less clam goes in the basket for Supernova. The lead is maintained for Starburst for all that matters right now, but that means that map control is going to be back in their favor and they're going to be looking to make another push.
A lot of this map is fighting from mid, and you need mid before you can make any kind of push, and you have to kind of fight for mid until you have a wipe, and then you have to kind of wipe them again before you can make another push. So we're going to see how this plays out. We're in the mid section of it. We need some specialists to come out in order to pick off some players on their plat before we can make a push forward. It looks like they're trying to make some effort for now, but Bran over here getting eaten for breakfast by the members of Supernova.
Taking care of business once more, and now again, mid control going to get contested here by Supernova to take care of some business as well. Tetsu just trying to charge up for the specials, but another 2-down situation. I don't know exactly what's going on over there. Looks like Supernova being a little bit more aggressive as well. Gets a trade onto Bran in the middle of the Booyah Bomb, and so very neutral is actually going to go swing the map back in favor of Starburst here as they build up some more claims.
Ice getting into a dominant position to try to facilitate another push. They're going to need, again, a couple specials to make this push in. This map is notoriously difficult for getting in, and the Booyah Bomb is a great way to open it up. Let's see if we can get anywhere with this, but it looks like the members of Starburst actually backed up a little bit.
Perhaps a little bit of miscommunication. Ice is just looking at it like, guys, what do I do now? But the engage is going to finally come on through and well positioned in order to make use of that Booyah Bomb. One power claim goes in. There's a second power claim going in as well. This is the push that Starburst needed. And now, with the 3-9 situation for Supernova, they're just going to be able to continue putting in claims. Looks like they're going to have to give away some map control now because they didn't have any more claims to throw in. But a push down to 26 is absolutely massive for this competition. We'll see if Supernova can try to respond.
On smaller clams maps, typically no push is safe. But on a map like Inkblot, where you have to wait in order to push onto plat to get those points, despite how small it is, 26 is a pretty safe push. We like to see that. We love to see that.
We'll see if they can hold on to it here for long enough. And the Blue Bomb's going to be coming on through in order to stall things out for a little while longer. And now it's a 2-down situation since Supernova started to step a little bit too far forward. Tetsu going to try to dive away to survive with this football, but that football is an echolocator on top of your body. Chara going to go down as well, just trying to protect this football, but now they're going to have to give up control of that football. That's one less power claim that they're going to have in order to push forward. And now look at this, more splats going back in the favor of Starburst. They continue choking out this game on Supernova to go back to even in the set overall.
They don't even really need to make a push. They have 30 seconds left. They have a dominant lead. They just need to threaten to make that push. And that alone will make Supernova pause long enough to not push as quickly as they need to in order to take a lead.
And now what?
Oh, jeez.
What just happened, guys?
I mean...
Hello? What?
We went down to the market and made a trade, I guess, and just... One player left up alive, 5 seconds to go, and that's gonna be game. There's not enough claims on the map.
Yeah. Not enough claims on the map, no footballs on the map, and that is one more game for Starburst. Someone's gonna have to go back and like play and rewind that last little bit.
Yeah, hang on, let me frame by frame that. We'll get some slow-mo in here, some instant replay.
Good thing we're going on overhead. By the way, holy smokes, look at these splats and assist numbers coming through for Starburst. Completely controlled the entire pace of that match. I mean, yeah, well done by them, because again, I mean, especially once they had, that push down to 24, they didn't have to worry about anything because they knew that they could just, get the last thing. And it was even better for them, seeing as how, sorry guys, I'm distracted by 9 other things right now. Seeing as how, the massive trade went in their favor. Is that what we call that? Is that, I mean,
sure.
It was a 4 for 3.
We had a swap meet, I guess, in mid.
I don't know.
It was great though, and honestly, like, we talked about wanting to see a little bit more aggression coming out of Starburst, and we got it. So I have 0 complaints. That was a great match, especially for a clans match. It was incredibly well played. And 10 out of 10. Good job, guys.
Yeah, well done there. Starburst gonna go ahead and take that, and that was the neutral map as well. So 2 neutral maps onto the favor of Starburst right now. We'll see if they can go to their counter pick of Tower Control Inkblot Art Academy in order to take care of business here. Yeah, here it is. Another Starburst pick, and it looks like very little adaptation from them coming into the compositions. Not necessarily surprising, although Arashi going on over to the armor as opposed to... Or, hang on. Wait a minute. Armor or Inkjet? I honestly don't even know at this point. Where is my brain right now, guys? Holy...
It's okay, we'll forgive you. This map plays similarly to how TC Manta does. That first checkpoint is fairly easy. The second checkpoint and the third checkpoint are the ones you really want to collapse if you want to take the game. So if we see a lot of the same forward momentum that we saw last game from Starburst, then this game, I think, could fall pretty easily to them, especially, we're already 3 down. We're 4 down on Supernova, so they're going to clear that first checkpoint and move right onto the second before most of Supernova's even back.
And again, look at how much further forward the Starburst is pushed up right now. Ice hovering in the air with the Booyah Bomb once more. Gets 2 with it as well. And Zero can do nothing but watch from the sidelines with this K-Pro, just trying to zone away, trying to be one of the last people alive, and should probably be trying to charge up for this Booyah Bomb to try to shut this push down. But look at how much yellow is already on this plat here as this tower continues snowballing towards the other goal. Brand, Popsy, and Jet here, and a second engage is going to come on through from Starburst. Look at the special coordination that this team has. It's another 2-down situation for Supernova, and it's probably going to be this third checkpoint cleared. They've got their eyes on the knockout. The Booyah Bomb's going to stall things out for a little while longer, but it is going to be the checkpoint clear. Another one goes down here, but Jared gets 1 onto Tetsu, second on to Shara. Ant goes down on the tower, but it almost doesn't even matter. That is the 100-0 knockout coming in for Starburst.
Yeah, this map honestly incredibly heavily favors an aggressive team. If they get up into your plat and the tower is pushing, there's so little you can do to get back in. That outcome doesn't even remotely surprise me.
Yeah. That's what I was expecting to come out more of from Starburst. For a while.
That was just a brilliantly played TC Inkblot match. Like textbook perfect, no problems, let's go. Perfect, amazing. On to the next one.
On to the next one. Except this one, it's Clamlet's Skipper Pavillion, which is going to be a little bit different than Inkblot Art Academy. I don't know. Just a wild guess. And it is going to be Supernova's counter pick as well, so we'll see if they can capitalize on it the same this time around. Definitely going to be interesting here to see exactly what comes on forward. Is Arashi going to go back to the hammer? I would imagine, like, this could be one of the maps. I would hope, right?
Sure. I'm down. I mean, I'm also interested to see what they pull up for backlines, right? This map is interesting in that, like, the way the map is set up, you kind of have to split off into two separate groups, the same kind of way that Triggerfish does, but it's a little bit easier to, cross those groups through mid. Just backline picks are typically the ones that hold the top gate, and if the other team pulls out something like a slosher, for example, the backlines get immediately nerfed. So I'm interested to see who's going to pick what for backline and who's going to, I guess, try to pick something to counter those backline picks. And then anything after that is just cherries on top,
Well, the interesting thing is that we haven't seen a ton of traditional backlines this set out of Supernova.
Yeah.
The largest thing they've had to a backline are fizzy bombs, right? Other than that, like, they really don't have a ton of a backline.
I hate how wrong you are, or how right you are. I hate how incredibly right you are. That the fizzy backline. I'm leaving.
Welcome to
I'm gonna go back to bed. Good night.
Welcome to Azure Town, everyone, where we talk about fizzy bombs. That's an old meme, but a good one. We're gonna be hopping back into this Clamblitz on Skipper Pavillion. It is the Supernova pick. We'll see if they can capitalize on it once more. But again, the only backline in this match is probably going to be Ice, opting for that Jet Squelcher with a little bit more mobility. Chara going to switch over to the Explosher. There's a backline that perhaps you might have been anticipating.
Yeah, I mean, from Chara, not unusual. A good pick, though, surprisingly, that people don't think about on this map. It gives you a little bit more range to deal with this door without having to put you right up against the edge, and gives you a little bit more options for, I guess, physics. But Tetsu going down immediately with that instant ray, and we're already pretty much 2-2 on this map. That was a lot faster than expected from this map.
Certainly a lot faster than expected, but already look at where Zero is. I mean, there's so much room on this map to just kind of spread out wherever you want, right? And that's something we're kind of noticing here as well. Zero jumps back to safety. Stingray is going to come on through, try to spot some of these members away. Zero is going to try to jump out, but gets downed by a burst bomb. I've seen a lot more burst bomb splats than I normally see. Just in general. I don't know where all of those have come from, but now Chara's going to push forward with the Explosion, able to find the punishment onto Bran. Not going to be able to save that power clam, but at the very least, minimizing any pressure coming in from Starburst so far this early.
To be quite honest, this map has so many clam spawns that are so easily accessible. Losing a power clam isn't as devastating as it is on, say, Inkblot. There's just clams everywhere, absolutely everywhere. So you can easily just give up a power clam and not worry about it and just build another one in, and I don't say 5 seconds. It's not a problem. There's already, like, I can see, like, 16 clams on the map right now.
Here comes the push, though. Ant's going to go down. It's a good situation for Starburst as Chara steps forward with the baller. Going to go ahead and be able to find that, but it's going to get taken down before they can throw the clam in the basket. That is going to be a failed push opportunity for Starburst. As Zero tries to run away from safety, it's going to try to throw that clam away, but it might just get guarded here by Starburst. We'll have to see exactly where that goes. But yeah, I mean, things were looking so promising there for Supernova. They just weren't able to capitalize, weren't able to find that clam in the basket.
Just a little bit of a fumble there on that push. And I like that ballsy Stingray coming out from Ice there. Like, I see you running, and I don't want you to... I'm not going to allow that. I'm going to sit here in mid and Stingray you until you jump out.
I mean, to be fair, he also knew that there was no one else around that could possibly punish that. So it was a little bit more safe. But speaking of things that are not safe right now, is Chara on this Explo applying pressure from multiple different angles as they try to surround this enemy side. And Starburst actually playing a little bit more defensively, which is interesting given that they have a lot of the claim control. Here comes the Ink Armor just to try to mitigate some of the pressure. But they're actually going to go through top mid here in order to find the first push of the game at the halfway point. There is going to be a jump coming on for Ice in order to find that second football in, but we'll see if they can capitalize. There's no one else really with clams on the map, despite that there are plenty around. They're going to have to give up the map control in order to go back and get those, so that is only going to be 2 power clams in the basket, which is certainly not an insurmountable lead here for Supernova.
Absolutely not, especially with the amount of clans on this map and how quickly this map can go once the momentum gets going. We'll have to see how they handle this. There's already one down on each side as they're starting to build up some more clams and get back through, but there's still 2 minutes on the clock. There's plenty of time for this game to go either direction.
Plenty of time indeed, as here comes the, what number Ray is this of the game? This is the 5th Ray in the game for Ice already. Is able to get Tetsu there as well as Starburst is continuing to push forward. You see it's a little bit safe, but the coast is almost clear, although that trade is going to make things significantly less so. One starting approach from the other side. Now Ice is going to get taken down by some aggression from Zero. That's actually a 3-on situation right now for Starburst, which means map control swinging back in favor of Supernova. Zero going to get taken down though high in the sky. Jared is able to find the trade onto Arashi as well, but the jump's going to come on in for Supernova. They're able to find one power clam. Can they find the second? It doesn't look like it with the 2-down situation. And even though they're going to have one charge, they're not going to be able to throw it in right now.
I mean, that's the only downside to playing with an Explo is if you don't have the support there, they just move a little bit too slowly to be able to capitalize on something that moved as fast as that push did. Another Ray coming out from Ice. I'm starting to get, I'm getting tired just watching all of this. There's so many, but another push coming in. They're going to open the basket. Doesn't look like they're going to have too much follow-up. That said, a full wipe. The power clam is saved. That's down to 40. Let's see how much further we can do this.
Any clammers, guys? Ice is going to pick up a couple more clams as well. Down to the 25 mark. Arashi is going to be able to find that one onto Ice as well here in Supernova. Just trying to hold on for dear life right now. They want to try to mitigate the pressure, but now it looks like a very insurmountable lead, given the fact that we have so much ground left to cover and so little time left in the game. Only 23 seconds left to go for this push to go in favor of Supernova. They have 2 power clams on the map. We'll see if they can capitalize, though, and they're starting to charge up their specials here. Chara stepping forward, has the baller. We imagine that's going to come on through here soon, but he can't get taken down by Ice. Is forced to pop this baller in defense, and now the engage is coming in for Starburst. The Inkjets are back in their favor, and it's, I mean, what can we do here? Arashi looking for a pick, is able to find one, now looking for the second onto Ice, throws that football away to not give away that positioning super well, but now a 2-down situation. It's only L3Ds left, and that's going to be no ability to break back in. Jared flexes on him, and that is going to be Starburst going to match point.
I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say about that match. Again, we see another beautifully played Clamblet set. That is kind of how you want to see that whole map being played. I would have loved to see a few more flanks, I think, but I mean, I have no complaints. It went beautifully. A 17 out of Bran, just wild.
Yeah.
I think Starburst woke up.
I think they might have.
We had a couple sleepy matches there in the zone sets, but
they might have finally found exactly their comfort zone here. And we're now going to be heading to our final neutral map. This is going to be Game 7. And by the way, this is the furthest that any match in Week 1 has gone. The other 2 European matches were sweeps. And so the fact that, you know, at least the worst case, this is saying in the 5-2, the first time that we're seeing Splat Zones the Reef as a neutral map in any TASL set so far. A little bit of bonus trivia there, for all it's worth, Twitch chat. But what do you expect? Good? Well, there's... Maybe that's an argument better saved for a later day.
Tune into the podcast tomorrow. Talk Speed Up, where we'll be talking about whether or not NA good.
Just NA good. Just that's the name of it. Just ship it.
I'm going to submit the question tonight.
We don't actually take Q&As. I mean, you're welcome to like.
Submit the question tonight.
All right. That's all well good. Anyway, Splat Zones on the Reef is a very stable map in Splatoon 2 for the Nintendo Switch, Lily. What do you expect to see here? Well, actually, what do you expect to see out of Chara, who has played almost everything under the sun, from Rapid, Grella, Explo? We've seen all of these different looks out of him. Which look are we going to see in this game?
I mean, hard to say. With the aggression coming out of Starburst, I could see Chara wanting to step back off of it. This might be a good map to play Brella. On the same, I guess on the other hand, it's not a terrible map for Explo. If you want to pull out a backline and have a little bit more pressure, well, backline quote unquote, have a little bit more pressure, it's not the worst place to play it. But I'm kind of expecting a swing back towards Brella, I guess. We'll see. My major concern right now is that we have not yet seen Starburst win a zones game, and the next 3 are zones games.
Very true, which is always A little bit interesting to kind of consider. Splat zones on the Reef to start this final 3 games. Of course, it is Starburst that are the ones that are up on match point, and weapon compositions coming in rather similar looks. We see Zero going over to the K-Shot, and Ant actually switching over to the Armorbot Junior. Your favorite weapon, Lily?
Yes, and I mean I love watching Ant play Junior. Just it's absolutely beautiful to watch. Also, I called it. We went back to the Brella.
Yeah.
High five myself. Good job, me. Moving back on in, we have an early cap already from Starburst, and Tetsu needing to back up away. There's a lot of pressures coming out from Starburst, sending them all the way back pretty much to spawn flag.
Now look at how much pressure the Tenemissiles are going on with as well. Ice gets a pick with the Splat Charger, which is going to further snowball this game in favor of Starburst as they look to just go for the 100-0 knockout here as well. Look at how much of a presence that they have. Now Ice is able to charge up, back away, charge up for these specials. And again, Supernova locked in their base right now. What can they do? And now, what are you going to do when there's an Ink Armor back the other direction? The Tenemissiles are meant to respond with, but again, Supernova just has to try to get back in the zone, and they just can't right now. 30 ticks of the timer left to go here for the knockout. It's another 2-down situation for Supernova. If I've seen them, I know they're going to try to wait to stall things out, but they have to act now. They can't. That's going to be Charge just popping this Splat Bomb launcher to try to get back in. Tetsu goes down as well. That's GG's, everybody. Starburst takes it 5-2.
Yeah.
What?
Oh!
What?
Someone said right on by. They said, not today, Kbot. This game is not over. We're going to keep going. We have another 70 points on the clock to tick through before this game is done.
Wait, AutoCam, where were you? AutoCam is just sleeping. All right. I wasn't expecting to be commentating right now, but here we are. Tenemissiles, Inkjet, as well as a couple specials back the other direction here for Supernova as well. Of course, the cap is still in favor of Starburst, as that was only like a drive-by cap, really, coming in from Supernova. We'll see if they can try to break back in. It looks like they're applying themselves a little bit more, but the Ink Armor comes out once more from Starburst. It's another 2-down situation. But now, I mean, once again, actually, that was the Blade Wipe. Right, all right. This has to be the game, right? Char's going to try to stall out for a little while longer here on the Sorel Umbrella, but what more can you do? You're going to go down as you get surrounded by the rest of the members of Starburst, and Zero's just trying to throw himself at some of these other members here, trying to go for the skill advantage, but a nice peek over the wall from Ice is going to be shutting that one down. 3, 2, 1, 0, and that is going to finally be the game. 5-2 in favor of Starburst.
Called it a little bit too early. We
I guess
almost
I
had
did.
there was some blue showing up on the, or some purple showing up on the zone there, and I was thinking like, are they gonna pull it again? Last like couple seconds, pull this again, just to call Kbot a liar once again. But one all the way down. At least you have some good team synergy on that one.
Ones across the board. That is that's a little catastrophic if you are Supernova, but a little bit unfortunate there. Well done. Props to Starburst. I mean, when they turn it on, Lily.
It just took them a sec.
It just took them. It took them a couple games, but yeah. Definitely the look that we were kind of expecting to see out of Starburst, right? That FT win challenging team. So it'd be interesting to see exactly how they continue to develop, and Supernova as well as one of those teams that, of course, have been around for a while and obviously have gone through different iterations. So it was even nice to see them, earlier on go on very equal footing with Starburst, but I guess they just turned it on. They found it, right? And with a lot of the maps, I will say, given how Starburst was playing, they were just able to maintain control of the rest of those matches.
It was beautifully played. Like especially after they turned on and got everything moving, all their blood flowing, they just pretty much played banger after banger. Each game was better than the previous one, and they were all textbook perfect. Beautiful aggression, some really great defense when needed, but for the most part, they didn't really need to go on the defense at all, and it was just amazing to watch. 10 out of 10.
Absolutely.
Take notes.
Well done. Of course, we will see Starburst and Supernova again next week, but coming up next, we've got an NA Open Top 8 rematch that I think a lot of people have been looking forward to. It's Sayonara versus Slaughterhouse when we come back. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're going to take a real quick break, but we will be back in a bit.